Hey, everybody. Welcome to Making Connections. This is your girl, Aly. I hope everybody's having an amazing day. Um, Listen, I got some things going on over here in the background, but welcome. And so we know that every fourth Saturday we do a food show review with Trejo. And so that's who you see over on the other side of the screen. Edgar Trejo, how's it going today?
You're doing really well. How about yourself?
Doing good, doing good. I'm just trying to share this video so people know we're on and we're on live because y'all know we show up here every Saturday at 12 noon and every Monday at 2 p.m. with exciting guests, information, and listen, there's a ton of things going on this weekend in the Charlotte area. I mean, a ton. There's like family reunion thing. It's the African American Fest. There's the brunch that's on every Sunday. There's a Greer Heights give back, community give back. It's like a lot of stuff. So if you missed the video I did last Monday, check it out. There should be a flyer on the show. There's a celebrity classic thing going on. It's all kinds of stuff. So if you're bored today and you want to get out of the house, there's something for you to do. But let's check out this video. Well, not the video, but let's talk to Edgar and see he might tell you some exciting places to eat today. Edgar, what you got for us?
So today, April, the month of April, I decided to do food trucks. So we're going to talk about food trucks, uh, a little bit of do's and don'ts. We're going to talk about a little bit of how the food truck industry went from a taco truck to a fusion um, perspective, and a lot of people that want to do their own job, be their own boss, stuff like that. So we're going to talk that about today. You can also follow me on Instagram at two Trey Trejo. That is becoming famous. So you can either put my name, Edgar Trejo Angel, on any social media, or two Trey Trejo on Instagram, and I'll pop up. But
Yeah.
today we'll be talking about food truck.
All right. Well, who's up first?
We'll go to the next slide. So we're going to be exploring food trucks. Do keep in mind a little bit of do's and don'ts. A food truck is basically a vendor outside, rain or shine. If they are dedicated in a specific spot, be there. If you see the spot be a little bit too small, be curious, get your food, and you know, tag it all along. The experience of the food truck is eating food that you normally don't want to eat in a restaurant, or foods that is finger food. So you always want to make sure you have some napkins in your car, some hand sanitizers, or waterless soap. Because depending on what you eat and what you like, you may have to have very greasy hands. uh,
Really?
the food trucks, most of them, becoming very high tech, so you don't have to worry about if you need to have cash or not. A lot of them will do electronic payments, which is good, especially for our millennials heading into non-workforce, luncheons. Um, so at the very end of the video, I will also show how to find food trucks because that's the number one problem with food trucks. They have to go where the market is. They have to go where there's space. So we'll talk about that at the end. But if we go to the next slide, we'll go ahead and talk about the first food truck.
I like that one with the taco on top. That's cute.
So today, anybody that's in the Hickory, Newton, Lenore, Morganton, Conover area can come to Super Taco. Their 1 year anniversary is today. Um, yep, they're located near LR University. The address is there at the bottom. It's called the Hub. That's the plaza. It's called the Hub. You can also give them a call at 828-216-4698. They are honestly what I consider nowadays Mexican food.
Mm.
So, for those of you who want Mexican tacos, that means no cheese on the taco. we'll go,
God.
go there.
Well, y'all
Uh,
don't put cheese on the taco.
if you want to
Mm.
put cheese on the taco, then put cheese on the taco, but it's normally taco. They also have some authentic water, fresh water. We translated it is fresh water, but in Spanish is aguas frescas. And as um, Ali has seen me drink, there can be anything from horchata, jamaica, tamarindo, piña, which is basically sweet rice water that tastes like cinnamon toast to some people. Tamarindo, which is a tangy sweet flavor, which is made from a root. Don't ask how to look at it, just drink it. Don't even look at the root. Ali made the mistake with looking at the root.
What is
But
that again?
it's good. And Jamaica is you guys translated as hibiscus. So Jamaica is a flower. Back in the days, how the Incas and the Mayans and the Aztecs used to dye their color, their dresses, their clothing with, which is this really red dye. But add a little sugar, a little bit more water, and some ice cubes, and you got a good hibiscus drink. So obviously, cane sugar, for us diabetics, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not, but it's good. But today is their 1 year anniversary, so please go and support them. They are there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. LR students love them. They have grown in popularity very, very big. I actually know the owner, and we're talking to see if they're going to do a second position. Um, Hopefully, as my platform grows, we'll be having actual people be interviewed, but I am putting my foot in to helping them grow. Meaning, if you yourself want to open up a truck, let's talk. We'll do a little spreadsheet, a little pros and cons, and see if you're willing and able because it is hard work. Anybody who has worked behind a kitchen knows that
Oh God.
hard, it's nonstop, no breaks until the crowd is fed and happy.
So about food trucks, so like I always wonder, I'm like, okay, how clean are these things? Like, how are they washing stuff? Where do they put everything in there? Because you got to have a sink and food and drinks, and so everything's like inside this little
Yes,
area. What's
yes.
that like?
So there's for those of you who like to follow um, Matrix world and everybody thinks like how is such a little space able to produce such a big amount, right? You
Mhm.
you have bosses that have chandeliers inside. How does that fit in there? It won't fit in my house. So a truck is just like any other car, any other. Think of it as a mini house. Now that mini houses everybody understands, it's about the layout. The
Mhm.
technology is there for you to just have tanks on the top, back, front, the side, or a long hose connected to a building. So the technology is there to filter out water. You have electric generators. You no longer need to carry that 200, 300 pound generator to do like, charge your iPad. Um, Now you can literally have like little pocket battery packs and a literally will pack multiple devices. So it's a matter of design, matter of what you want to cook, matter of the grill, matter of gas line if you want gas line, if you want a charcoal grill, if you want there's multiple options. Technology has advanced to the level where if you find a good um, let's say a good handyman, a good welder, and a good electrician, you can make any truck marvelous. And space enough for you
Mhm.
to cook, space enough for you to be clean, space enough for you to, make sure you don't blow yourself up. Because if you are using gas, you gotta make sure all your lines are closed because the flame and the gas are like next to each
Yeah.
other. If it's electric, you want to make sure that in a rainy storm you're protected and covered. So technology has built itself where thin layers of plastic will protect you from the rain, which is used to be a lot harder than back in the day. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Good welders will create your grill however you want it from sturdy metals. Electricians know how to rewire, just like a mini house. Because of the mini houses, they have experiences rewiring mini trucks. Getting yourself a sizable generator where you no longer have to, like I said, carry that 200, 300 pound generator. Um, and it's also a matter of planning and prep. So the way to keep themselves clean is just like any restaurant, they have to do a lot of cleaning before, during, and after. So they are treated as restaurants. If you see right now on the slide on the window, it actually has a cleaning review from an actual state. In North Carolina, you need to have, just like any restaurant, you need to have the proper permits. The health inspector will come, they'll grade you, and stuff like that. So if you see a food truck that doesn't have anything like that in North Carolina, that means they're either starting, because you can start for 30 days before getting any of that. But
Okay.
after the 30 days, you need to have all your permits. Obviously, all these laws changes constantly as the popularity of food trucks go on. But excuse me, if you plan right, and this is all a matter of planning from the beginning of your financials to the food cooking to the truck you want and all the way to the design of the truck will give you a good foundation. Then so everybody knows financials. Ali, you have talked about financials. You just do the same thing you do for a business, you do for your restaurant. So on the food, you have to make sure you're able to cook food in a timely manner. The reason a lot of people like the food trucks is it's supposed to be quick,
Right.
15, 20 minutes. You're not supposed to be sitting or standing for an hour to 2 hours before you get your food. That's a restaurant business.
Right.
Two, the food, if able, comes pre-packed, pre-cut or pre something in order for you to able to just put it on the grill.
Like prepackaged in a certain size that fits this
Yep,
what we're doing with the taco or the whatever. Gotcha.
right. And at the same time, a good food truck at the end of the day is going to have zero ingredients, zero packaging left, zero food. So it's heavy when you start at the food truck, and it's light when you're in.
Right.
So there's stuff like that. If you go to the next line, this particular food truck, even though they've been doing it for a year, the actual cooks have been cooking for fast food restaurants for a very long time. So um, they know what they're doing.
Looks good.
Yeah. And you
So
see
we're
right,
heading out there sometime today.
huh?
So we're heading out there sometime today.
Maybe we'll have to see the show which you want.
Oh gosh.
um,
Okay, go ahead. Sorry, I got distracted.
she's hungry, people. She's hungry. She knows when I like something, she likes
Right.
it. But you can see here, people do wait in line for them. They have been known. And when I say authentic Mexican, if you see on the top right, that's El Paso, which is basically people who like lamb and stuff know what it is. But basically, you put piece of steak of pork, which is dipped in salsa, a secret salsa. Every cook has their own version of salsa, which is basically like that's what makes it El Pastor, which is salsa meat kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
The meat, onion, another meat, pineapple, another meat, and you just keep on building your tray. And then you just, how you have your chickens that turn?
Mm-hmm.
In case it will be up and down, and it will turn left to right,
Okay.
and it will be cooking. And then you grab your tortilla, you put it next to the meat, and you just cut, and then you make your taco. And then you cut like a slice of pineapple from the top, and
Mm-hmm.
that's your taco. So
Sweet.
that have that for pork El Paso. They also have a menu of your chicken, your beefs, your other ingredients. I like lengua. I'm not gonna translate that in English. I like lengua, and those of you who know what lengua is, sometimes they have it, sometimes they don't. Which is another. It's part of the cow, but that's all I'm gonna say. but every
Oh, okay.
but the reason I say is I think that this because the everything they sell right there, if you go to Mexico on a food truck, is the same. So you got your tortas, which is the Mexican burgers, as people like to translate it, or the Mexican sandwiches, which is the bottom left. You have your sopes, which is the top, which is basically like a thick flour tortilla, or not
Mhm.
flour, corn tortilla, thick though, because it's mushy in the middle. And then you get your beans, your meat, your lettuce, your queso fresco, your salsa. Some of them like lettuce, some of them like cilantro, some of them etc. But that's your sopa. They have multiple dishes, which is supposed to be quick and on the go. Which a lot of us Mexicans do that because we're workaholics, most of us anyway. um, but they also have great reviews. They like even though they are on their first year, they kept up to the cleaning. They are right next to the university, so all those picky eaters, there are students love them. So you're gonna love them too. Uh,
Mhm.
just ask the meat for those of you who like it, well done. Like me, I'm not ashamed that I like my meat well done. There's some of my friends get on me because I don't want it rare.
Mm. Y'all can have that.
They will cook it, a little bit longer for those of you for those of us that like that little crunch at the end of the steak or so forth. Um, the sauce they use is they won't tell you the recipe, but all of their sauces and other their meats are pre-cut. The only thing
Mhm.
they do with the truck is cook it. So when you're there, you're gonna see three people behind that little trailer next to each other, just cha 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 cha. And to some of you, the flavors do mix because they have one spot. That's a problem for trucks. Is some flavors do mix, like when they try to keep themselves clean. You got your meats on one side, your vegetables and your fruits on another side. But when they prepare it together, sorry, doing a mix. Uh,
Right.
but they do keep themselves clean, and there are really good and really growing. So hopefully, Super Truck over here, Super Taco, will have multiple locations moving forward.
Awesome.
I believe the next slide is another restaurant, but I think you said you have something to show them before the next one.
So before we go to the next restaurant, we're going to do quick commercial. We know that we've been talking about Christopher Blackman, who stage name is Chris. So excuse me. So he's got a book that he's coming out, autobiography, and he finally has the release date, which is going to be April 26th. And so we want to show a little trailer so you'll know what to be looking for.
The art of trying, everybody has mastered. Doing every and anything that you can, but somehow it turns into a disaster. Life takes you on many journeys, crossroads, and paths. Sometimes gives you heartache, but other times it can make you laugh. Nobody's perfect. I don't care how wide their smile or how dull their situation may be. This was never an overnight thing. Every morning that you wake, birds don't always sing unless you call for it. You got to live your life accordingly. Give an honor to God for His richness and glory. Life is going to be easy and life is going to be rough. And if you don't believe, you'll eventually grasp the cusp of what everybody had to figure out as life got a little clearer. Even though we live great lives on the outs, but on the inside, we learn to live through.
So that trailer was again Trial and Error by Christopher Chriso Blackman. Chriso, like I said, is his stage name. He is a poet, does spoken word. He's always out in the community, at different events. People invite him out. So his first book is coming out, his autobiography, and is will be released on April 26th. So you guys check it out on Amazon.com. And so you can follow Chriso on Facebook as Christopher Blackman and on IG as Chriso. Yeah, excuse me. I thought I got rid of this cough. It keeps coming back. But also on today, it is a national, what should we call it? National holiday. Our friend Jeffrey Thomas. Alan, you can share those pictures. Our friend Jeffrey Thomas. It is his birthday. Of Thomas Medical Group. He's been on the show before. And so we just wanted to take this opportunity just to stop for a second and tell him happy birthday. And so there is Jeffrey sporting his Sunday best. He's
Always chocolate.
always at an event, always doing something, always in the community. He is, again, the owner of Thomas Medical Group, and so they're doing some great things in the New York area. And so we just wanted to really, like I said, just take this time and say happy birthday to the old fella.
Happy birthday. Feliz cumpleaños.
I know usually I'm like, close by, but not this year. But so I just want to
Dude,
take time to say
dude.
happy birthday before we carry on to the next restaurant.
Happy birthday, Mr. Jeff.
All right. So, Edgar, what's the next thing you're going to be reviewing for us? What's the next
The
restaurant
next,
food truck?
yes, the next restaurant is an Asian restaurant, I believe. Gonna get the next slide. So,
Dragon boat.
yeah, so these fellas they pretty much stay around the Charlotte area. At the end, you can see their website down there on the right. I'll be posting it more on my Instagram as well. And at the end of the site, I'll show you how you can track. They have a very long history, but to summarize, uh, they basically another family-owned truck has been around. I want to say 5-ish, 6-ish years, yes, years.
That is a long time. Shush, shush, shush.
Just because you know how business are. You're up and you're down and you're sideways and left and pause and pick up a 9 to 5 and go back again. And that's the beauty about food trucks is your business. You are the boss. Um, I hope we always pray that we never get Karens, but you are the boss. So, and in the food trucks is you go where the market is. So, if you are a type of person that is outgoing, loves to cook, loves to see people smile and have a good time, this is a good business for you. You
Mhm.
think that a food truck would not make any business compared to the prices they sell their food, but a good food truck, like I said, plan for good resources, plan for plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D. And obviously, as much planning as you do, the number one thing is whatever falls on your lap. If you're a go getter, if you go get it, you truck on like the little choo choo train. You keep on trucking. You will be successful. There's always a market out there for good food. So they are mostly Asian cuisine. So you have your noodles, your rice, your orange chickens and stuff like that. If we go to the next slide, you'll see a little bit of what they cook.
Okay.
All right. So they can do your appetizers, your main dishes, your desserts. There's a full-on restaurant in that truck, which I like.
Mhm.
The servings are generous, which I like. For all those of you who are carnivores, good portions of meat, porks, chickens, good spices, which I love.
Yeah.
So if you have good family recipes, you want to do a trial run, reach out to Ali and myself. We'll give you honest opinion.
Right.
uh,
A little taste test before you get started.
yes, and they actually cook what you consider an Asian dish. Now, as Mexicans, we have Tex-Mex, which is a version of America. I do not know what they call it in Asia, but these are the Asian versions in America. So you have your fried rice, your noodles, your house lo mein, which is noodles, your broccoli, garlic and broccoli, which is the top left. Excuse me. Your compound, which is normally compound, it's a spicy dish, can either be chicken or pork. For those of you out there who know compound, I'm sorry. I apologize if I say something inappropriate. This is my interpretation of when I was talking to the food trucker. So just because Asian is a big culture, uh, a lot of people have their own thing. For one definition or another is slightly different. But yeah, they are great for those of you who want a little bit Asian cuisine. They're primarily around the Charlotte area. Every now and then they'll go to Raleigh. A lot of these food trucks travel, which is great. But at the same time, you're like, well, I'm kind of feeling something X. Where can I get X? As more and more people use the food truck industry, and it became a big thing back in COVID because you couldn't go to the restaurant. So, so
Had to
these
think out of the box, right?
yeah, so these people even food delivery services. So if you see them on your standard Uber Eats or DoorDash, or there's a couple of them which I'll talk next week about the food delivery business. There's a couple more coming up, which in our local areas. If they have it, they'll deliver. So it's just a matter of doing your little research when it comes to stuff like this. But these people are great. Great spices, great flavor for the Asian cuisine. And the beauty about some of these food truck owners is if they have the ingredients and like Ali likes and it's not on the menu, they'll make it for you as long as they have the ingredients. So always ask if you see something on the menu and you see one of the mixed ingredients, just ask and see if they're willing to do it. Ali, you there? Hello? Hello? Everybody good? Can I keep going or did we lose Ali? Hello? For those of you watching, this is what happens when we go live. Things unforeseen will happen, but stick with us. Okay. Um, so if we go to the next slide, we'll go ahead and talk about another good restaurant.
take it all back. I wish that I could take it all back. Make it like it never happened. All the way back. I'm reminiscing and I'm missing all the days gone by. When the fella had a swagger and the girls were fly. When the only thing I shot was my mouth off. To a cutie with a booty got my finger blast off. I had to take my mask off. Tell the Clayton Savage what's my name. Before she let me hit it again. Long before the crack game came. Before the little white snowflakes cooked up whole cakes. I used to love to pick you up in your hood. You used to come to my car looking good. You's a bad girl coming from Atlanta, make a grilled cheese sandwich taste good. I wish that I could take it all back. I wish that I could take it all back. I wish that I could take it all back. I could make it like it never happened, take it all back. I wish that I could take it all back. I wish that I could take it all back. I wish that I could take it all back. Make it like it never happened, take it all back. All the way back to the Chris and the cup. When all the time with you, I didn't know I had enough. Play a Himalaya cup of chick on the fallback. You on the Kelly and you know you got your swag back. A chill. Oh, Kelly crazy for real. But if you're gonna call me, can we make a new deal? Got no heart to find another girl with your appeal. But if you ride, I'ma show you I'm the realest for the deal. Trooper, time to make Mercedes out of Coopers. Time to get you everything you ever wanted to for one. Spending money just for the fun. I couldn't show you then, but I'm gonna show you now. I wish that I could take it all back. I wish that I could take it all back. I wish that I could take it all back. I can make it like it never happened. Make it like it never happened. Knock, knock. That's me knocking at your heart. I know I made it stop, so I'm gonna make it start. Fix your capillary, like my vocabulary. Make it new, forget the missionary. I ain't the saint, but I can't take living without you. Won't rest, no peace, cause I'm thinking about you. Had to look you up when I got the chance. I can hook you up if you let me hook you up. I wish that I could take it all back. I wish that I could take it all back. I wish that I could take it all back. I can make it like it never happened, take it all back. I wish that I could take it all back. I wish that I could take it all back. I wish that I could take it all back. I could make it like it never happened, take it all.
Hello, welcome. I think I'm back. um, Sorry about that, but that's what happens when we're live. Um, Hello. Okay, we're back. So that was Clayton Slash. Very good musician. When Ellie comes back, we'll there's more of a his of her. Excuse me. Artist. They are growing, very much growing, because I've seen them perform in clubs now. Anywho, back to urban flavor, like I was stating. They are very well known throughout multiple states. They, oh, there's Ali. Is Ali back?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yep. And that's what I was saying to the our lovely. I'm really
Audience,
lost.
family.
Yes. See, this is what happens when you go live. You got to truck on with the little things, and if it subs your brain, just focus on a single subject and move on.
Right. Listen, I
Uh,
don't know. It seems like wherever I go, I mean, it doesn't matter where I am, the internet drops, and I don't understand what's happening with that. But anyway, what were you talking about with our lovely viewers?
I was just talking about. Well, first off, before we talk about the next one, go ahead and talk about your artist that we just finished hearing the wonderful song.
So that was Clayton Savage. He has a new album out, newly released. He's on all streaming media platforms. He used to be with Sugar Hill Records. Now he's on his own record label, Red Cave Records. And so, that's Clayton Savage. He's back, like I said, from the Sugar Hill era, and been on different tours and worked with different artists. So he's got his own new album out, newly released. You can check it out at Apple. You can go to YouTube. All the different links. He's on everywhere. All you gotta do is Google Clayton Savage, and he will come up. And that song, his new album is called Legion, and that song I believe was All Back.
Mm. Very good song. I like that.
Yeah, he's hot.
Yep. And just like him, this particular urban flavor with the next food truck I'm talking about, give you a quick recap. He is famous throughout multiple states. He will do cater. He will do it to your event. He will go to your business, et cetera, et cetera. He has been in the business for multiple years. Shush, shush. And he is a very good fella to talk to if you want to open up a business, food truck business, and he'll give you his ins and outs. He does schedule like a coaching type of thing because this is his job. So this is a very good mentor. Mentor, that's the word I was looking for. He's a very good mentor for you to have if you decide to call him. If we go to the next slide, you'll see some of his foods. Uh, where I work, and Ali and I know this. The business that we work has multiple offices throughout multiple states. Um, every single one of them knows this truck. So, and we work with a lot of people who are very picky. And for those of you watching, you are my friend. Um,
Listen,
uh,
we just what we want. That's all.
they are today in Newton. Um, so yeah, I kind of picked a good date, right? A lot of food trucks out today. Today they're in Newton, and then we'll go and talk about that place later because it kind of hints to what I'm gonna say in the next slide. But they're more Venezuela, South American, indigenous influenced foods. So if you know your pupusas, if you know your empanadas, if you know your I forgot the word of that is in the bottom left, which is like a little patty of corn. Is very famous. It's like their version of tortillas. Um, in my comments, write me that word for those of you watching, or I'll reply back. um,
Listen, let me stop you. Is that bread I don't like?
no, that's
Oh,
Asian, Japanese.
oh,
Different,
okay,
different,
okay, yeah.
different, 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 different. That's made from rice. This is made from corn.
Okay, okay. I'm good with that. Go ahead, carry on.
Yeah, let's not mix our things together now.
Oh Lord.
we'll we only do that in the Silk Road. But anyway, they have very fresh um, food. As soon as you get it and you smell it, you'll be like, "Oh, heaven!" Um, yep. And for those of you who think they're Mexican, they have their version of tacos. Yes, they have cheese in them. Uh, they also have shrimp tacos and stuff like that. Um, it all depends, honestly, on the ingredients he'll have. Sometimes he'll have specials. Sometimes he'll say he doesn't have this. That's the downside of a food truck too. You gotta go where the market is, but sometimes the market wants something that the ingredients are not fully available. I mean, just go buy eggs at any grocery store.
Mhm.
You'll see the prices. So, very good person, very good staff, very well trained staff. Food comes out properly clean for those of you who like to see it clean. Uh, so they are wonderful what they do. This is their full business now. They were one of the ones that, oh, and I gotta do my 9 to 5, and, grow my business on the left, grow my business on the right. That's the thing about some of the people I talk to. And again, you kind of have to be a go-getter if you want a business like this, because you are your own boss. You are moving multiple directions, literally, physically. You have to have a good head on your shoulders for maintaining multiple tasks. You're in a very small space with multiple tasks. So, multi, what was that right word, Ali? Multi,
Multitasking.
thank you. You have to be very good at it. And if you're not, that's great. You know, a lot of these people who are willing to train you, work with you. You can be like their sous chef for restaurant vocabulary, and then open up your own one. A lot of them also have family recipes. So for those of you who are foodies like me and Allie and want to try non fast food chain restaurants, find some of these trucks because most of the
Yeah.
salsas, the way they prepare their food, the way they um, you know, just a simple added ingredient makes the dish taste so much different. And
Hmm.
then a lot of that stuff is not taught by, a chain restaurant or they went to culinary school. I mean, some of them have, but um, most of their cooking experience comes from home. So a lot of culture is behind these foods. A lot of, sorry, a lot of ethnicity, I guess will be the right word in today's era, are behind these foods. And don't be afraid of going out and eat non-restaurant food.
And it's just like at a restaurant. I mean, like if you get something and you want it light on the sauce or you want the sauce on the side, I mean, you got the same options, just be polite and just ask them just to switch it up a little bit or to leave something off or add cheese to your taco if you want cheese on your taco, whatever it is. So, you just, again, just be polite. Know that, again, it is a food truck. They are in a limited space and they are limited people. And, just be patient and just be respectful. And I believe that you'll really have an enjoyable experience.
Yes. So, and again, and we'll say this at the end again, your responsibility is you have to wash your own hands in your own car.
Right,
So
right.
you may have to take your own trash with you. But that's the thing about food truck. It's not a restaurant. It's a different atmosphere, a different. You know, in a good way.
Right. Mhm.
All right. If we go to the next slide, so that's it for food trucks. I'll pick three food trucks, but there are tons out there. Really, lots of food trucks out there. Especially if you're like Ali and me that constantly travel for both pleasure and work and family. But there's all sorts of things out there, and um, I don't know if Ali wants to admit this or not, but in the little city of Hickory has grown significantly where we are turning ourselves into like a little, I don't want to say city, but I think we're between a city and a town. I don't know what we the right word for it because we have walkways now. We have walkways that link our downtown area to our highway system, which is primarily the chain restaurants are sitting at, to the biggest industries in this little area. For those of you who live here, you know which businesses I'm talking about. We also have like great parks. The walkways link the parks.
Right.
The walkways link the lakes that we have around here. Um, so we're linking ourselves through the walk, which Ali we're not gonna is not gonna do this, but I may have to ask her to join the linking walk, which is basically a walk from downtown Hickory all the way to the other side of Catawba River. But I gotta motivate Miss Ali if she wants to walk with me or a couple of my friends to train. But once I do that, you'll see what I'm talking about. I'll probably do like a little video and follow food trucks around.
Right.
Um, but this park is fairly new. It's called Side Street Stop. So this particular area, there used to be a building, but rather than building another building, they decided to create an area for food trucks. So in the areas, like I said, food trucks has been growing and growing. So these little kind of like rest stops have been popping up. And here you can actually eat outside if it's good weather's good. And some facilities like these have like portable washing hands. So like they do like at the fairs and zoos and stuff where there's like a side where you just wash your hands in a portable
Right.
um, sink, which that helps out a lot of the business if you really think about it. That helps a lot of the trucks to make sure it just that simple having a table and where to wash your hands increases so much of the business.
Right. Right.
So this little area popped up last week, I believe. Um, they announce everything on their website, Facebook, etc., and people like me will repost it in our links and stuff like that. So if you don't want to follow a truck, then find your local food truck stop and just sometimes it's easier for people just to find their food truck stop and go with whatever food truck decides to stop there. And
Right.
some of these trucks that I've been talking about, you'll find them there. And they also have permanent trucks, and they also have commercial trucks, well, not commercial trucks, seasonal trucks, where depending on the season of the food, they'll populate themselves. Like if you want ice cream during a certain, or you want ice, shave ice, because you only find shave ice like in festivals and stuff like that. So if we go to the next slide,
Slide, slide to the left,
slide to the right,
slide to
slide to
the
the left. Like I said, the grand opening was, oh yeah, it was last week. Um, you'll see they advertise their location, they advertise what day. This particular facility tries to have a truck every day. So that's the main goal. You can see their names there populate. Um, like for example, what is today? The 22nd.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the, from 12 to 8, you have Craft Taco. Then you have oh, they only have one today, but and like I said, you just go to the website and it gets updated. Or if you follow me, you'll get the constant update as well. So the resources are out there, and it looks like Wednesday is their biggest day. So Aly, I don't know where you'll be next. Well, I know where I'll be next Wednesday. But one of these Wednesdays when we have to go down there and get something like last, like for example, if you want pizza, they have pizza. Um, I don't know what these breaks are. There's something new. Yeah, you learn something.
Just take a little break, maybe to change up or to clean up or something.
Probably. But again, if you don't want to follow a truck, then find your local truck stop. If you do not know, find yourself a truck and ask them, like, hey, because the community is there. Food trucks are like truck drivers. Everybody has their cliques. Everybody has their community. Everybody has because at the end of the day, we're all human. We all need help in one way or another. And when it comes to business, if you're a food truck, part of growing your business is communicating with other food trucks. They're like, hey, there's a big old crowd on whatever corner street of whatever corner street, and there's a space, so forth, so forth. Anybody that wants to can stop there, and so forth, so forth. So a lot of the food truck news is word of mouth. That's why a lot of these food trucks rely on people like Ali and me to announce them, to make sure our followers know where they are, and so forth and so forth and so forth. And again, a different type of industry, a different type of way of doing things, but in a good way.
Absolutely. And then, like I like around here, it says there's live music. Sometimes they have cornhole and stuff for the kids. And so, it just, it's it's a way to get out, get out of the house, see some people, let the kids go out and run around a little bit. So
Hmm.
it's still a family affair.
And just like anywhere, if you considering it's outside and you have animals and stuff, be curious. Just because you feed your animal your food from your mouth doesn't necessarily mean that someone else is gonna feed your animal the same way. Um, and that's one thing I also see the don't side. If you take your animal with you, your pet, whatnot, keep them with you. Everybody enjoys a good time with their pets, but not a lot of people enjoy eating with their pets.
Right.
So be curious about that too. I know I have two big dogs, and trust me, those dogs do not let anybody else touch them except for my parents. And they stick to them like glue, like gum on the bottom of your shoe. So they know they're not going to go anywhere. But at the same time, we also are careful with little kids.
Right.
That now, I'm not saying my dogs are dangerous or anything, but actions of an animal may be translated to someone else differently, especially if it's your child.
Right.
So if you have animals, be responsible both for you, for your pet, and for those around you. Um, and again, be clean as much as you can because you're outside.
Right. Is this
Um,
the last slide?
nope.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if you want to go commercials, but the next slide will be is how will you find food trucks?
Okay. So yeah, just before we go into that, I just wanted to reiterate what you were saying is, let's be clean, let's be responsible, throw your trash away, clean up as best you can after yourself, after your animals. Some people are just afraid of dogs and stuff like that. So, you have to take that into consideration. They're not being disrespectful of you and your relationship with your pet, but they're just afraid of animals. And so it gives them a little anxiety. So, you just have to be weary of all of that stuff. And because we want to make sure the food trucks keep coming, we want to make sure there's no incidents or anything like that. So, just be careful and watch your children. Don't just let them run around. Be careful where they're going. And, if there's close to a street area, they usually have a little bit of space before you get to the street. But at the same time, kids are fast, they throw a ball and they're going after it. So just be mindful of all those things as we should. And like Edgar's saying, with counting up the cost, if this is something maybe you want to do, count up the cost. Okay, what does it cost me to purchase this food truck? What does it cost me if I want to be a traveling food truck with gas prices? Every business has a budget. Every business puts down on paper what's needed, you know, if you it helps you to be successful. And I know sometimes you're just starting out and you just, do what you got with what you have, but make sure that as you're starting out that when you start getting to that profitable status that you're putting it back into your business initially, you know, to keep growing. And there are so many pieces to it. There's marketing, there's, word of mouth, like you said. So, do some of that research beforehand so you're not disappointed. Like if you show up on a corner and, it was popular for everybody else, but now it's not popular for you, but don't get frustrated. Maybe people just don't know that you're out there yet. People haven't experienced your food yet. So you got to get some testimonials, hey, this is the pricing, this is the taste. It was awesome. Got to get out there. So again, that word of mouth thing is really the best marketing still to this day, but there are other ways to get it done. So definitely we want you to be successful, but there are steps to doing that. Go ahead, Edgar.
Right. And just to piggyback on that, on the do's and don'ts, we're outside. Like, be clean. Take your trash with you if you can't. If there's no trash out there. We don't want to see litter. We want the atmosphere to stay upbeat. The reason they're there is because if the business is good, if the people are happy, if the government's happy, because sometimes you gotta please the government, then the trucks will come. So be a team player, and if you're
Right.
not, then just get your food, be happy. If you want to be alone, people will leave you alone too. Um, so this is
And I
for
think it's
everybody.
cool because you can just run in, you can pick it up, you can take it home, and
Right.
it's cool.
So, big question. Ooh, what happened to my slide? So, a big question, and the number one question everybody asks is, how do I find a truck? So, other than following me on Instagram, which is your top left, there are two websites that I rely on myself. So far, one is a website, one's a website and an app which shows you maps. Both of them show you maps, but the app one will sometimes link to your phone so it can give you directions to your whatever app you're using for directions. So the first one is the bottom left, which is roaming hunger, like who isn't hungry, right? So they have their website. You just go to the website. You can pull it up on any device that has internet. It goes by state and then by city. So if you don't see your city, then I'm sorry, there's not a food truck register yet in your city. So once one truck registers is in your city, then your city pops up. So that's one way. Um, like Allie and me, we'll travel a lot, and we're like, "What do we want to eat? What do you want to eat? And what do you want to eat? No, you pick. No, you pick." You know how that conversation goes.
Truly.
So that's everybody who 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 eats in a group.
Yeah.
These websites will give you pictures, reviews, where it's at, schedules. A lot of people try to keep their schedules a week out. So if you're planning a trip, you probably won't have good luck planning your trip like months in advance for tickets or anything, but you might have better luck once the day of the trip is there to get good scheduling. Again, this is family owned, personally owned restaurants. So if things happen and they're not there, find yourself another truck. Um, the one on the top right, which is streetfoodfinder.com, recently got their app working correctly, where again shows you reviews, shows you pictures, links to your whatever map app you want to use for directions, and again splits by city. In this case, it pulls every city in North America because I've seen some in Canada. North America. Um, but if it's not a food truck there, there's nothing gonna pop up like a little ping or anything. But if there is a food truck available, they start popping up like little pop-ups on the window. So whenever a truck goes live and they register here, it pops up. They also have their own schedule. It pops up. So these are two good sources other than Ali or me to follow, and they are really good resources for you to plan out your day. Like one day it's sunny and you're like, oh, let's go get us some food truck, and it rains halfway. You're like, peace out, food truck. Gotta go to a restaurant. Um, so these are good ways to finding trucks and reviews and pictures, so you at least know what you're eating. Because a lot of people read what their what the ingredients are, but because some of these are fusion, they don't quite understand what
Right.
the translation may be. So
Right.
pictures are great, and they have pictures. So that's why I tell people that I do food trucks with, they're like, the better the picture, the more appetizing the food is, the more they're gonna want to eat that one. They may not understand what the ingredients are there, but they're there. And again, if you're a person who is allergic to X ingredient, ask them if they're using that ingredient. And even if the ingredient is served or prepared on the left, on the right of the truck, whatever, again, it's on your own cognizance if you want to eat there because, like I said, as clean as they may be, there are cross contaminations of flavors.
Right. Exactly. And
All right, guys.
if you got a food truck and you're not listed on romanhunger.com or streetfoodfinder.com, get yourself on the list so people know where you are.
Yes, because that's the problem for the food truckers. Like, I'm over here, but no one's here. Again, word of mouth. That's how the
Yeah,
business of food truck is. Word of mouth.
yeah. Get yourself on Google so when people Google food trucks, your name will come up. So those are some of those marketing tips. We gave you those for free.
All right, and that's it for me. That's my review. Hope you guys like it. Leave comments. People outside of the industry have reached out, so I'm learning. Um, and thank you, Ali, for allowing me to be here and
Absolutely.
building connections.
Yeah. So of course you saw his QR code. There it is again. Every fourth Saturday, we do food show review, two Trey Trejo food review. Again, that's his QR code. You can follow him on Instagram. But if you might want to reach out to him through email, just to ask some questions, edgar.trejoangel@gmail.com. So either one of those, you can reach out to him and find out more. Or, if you're saying, hey, I need you to review my stuff, that's how you do it, okay? And so, again, we are here making connections with Allie every Saturday at 12 noon and every Monday at 2 p.m. But on the fourth Saturday is when we do our food reviews. And so, again, like I said, you can find us, follow us on Facebook. We're on Instagram. I've been trying to be a little bit more mindful about posting stuff on there. We do our shows to YouTube as well. So if you missed the live version, you can always go back to the Making Connections page and find the show and listen to it and share it from there. Or you can go to our YouTube Making Connections with Allie, and the shows are there as well. And so definitely want you to like and share this video to let people know what we're doing. Edgar. Hmm.
To people watching this, to the people who like the game, should I post the videos on Twitch? Let us know.
I don't even know what Twitch is, so y'all answer this question. Listen, and let me tell every business owner, social media is a lot. So you have to find initially the platform where your audience is, find the platform where you get the most responses and views, and go with that platform for a period of time and build up that clientele before you start switching them to. Because sometimes you'll feel like you don't have any viewers because you might have 15 on Facebook and 10 on Instagram, 12 on LinkedIn, but you're just like all all over the place. So, people are seeing you in different places, but sometimes then it gets overwhelming and you like, I got a food truck. I'm talking about me. I got a food truck to do, I got a show to do, I got family to take care of. I don't feel like posting today. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be mindful of just being consistent somewhere, right? Schedule your post, get somebody to schedule for you, find your virtual assistant that can help you with your social media, and because you have to invest in your business, you have to invest in yourself. And so sometimes it takes, like Edgar said, nobody can do it by themselves. So, we're willing to help you along the way as much as we can. So reach out to us, or, if you have questions, even business related questions, like Edgar said, like, some actionable steps to put into place to grow. We're here for you because we know a little bit about that side as well. Edgar,
Mm.
anything else before we go?
No, that's it. That's it for me. You guys know how to reach me. I'll be roaming around. Might bring something from Atlanta next time. I don't know. So if you want me to go, like I said, I'll go anywhere. I do travel anywhere, and Ellie and I have things planned for you guys as we keep growing, and as you guys have noticing, we keep increasing. Just yes, we keep increasing our platform, but we may increase our little bit of special effects. Hint, hint. So as we keep traveling, as we keep filming, we'll share our thoughts, our creativities, our knowledge, our experiences, and our wisdom,
Yeah,
all
so
for the better good of humanity.
yeah. And I don't know exactly, I ain't gonna tell y'all the dates or anything like that, but we are hoping to hit New Orleans this year. And so if there's something out there you want us to try, something good you would suggest, send us those hints and things like that. But That's a new place for me. I think Edgar may have been before, but I
Yes,
have
I
never.
went to the spice market. For those of you who know what the spice market is, and we'll also be hitting our normal cities that we go to yearly. But for new this year will be New Orleans and Miami, hopefully. So
Yeah, and we'll be in Missouri, but that'll be real quick, and we probably won't,
at
because
least
that's
we do
gonna
a
be
home
like
cook.
truly like an overnight. So we might find one restaurant. I mean, hey, people in Missouri want us to highlight them too. But anyway, we'll keep it for you. But again, we just ask you to continue helping us to grow. Invite your audience, your followers to this platform because as we interview you and things like that, talk about you, then this will be just another aspect or a place where they can keep abreast of what's going on. So again, follow, like, share, and continue. Just let's build together because what we know is, I think it's finally coming. Just some of this new branding, but again, social media and things are a lot. So hopefully, some new branding is going to come out because May, is our anniversary month. And so we will be celebrating our 5th year anniversary, making connections with Allie. And so, we're gonna be, sharing some stuff and maybe some reels. Allie doesn't do reels too much, so Edgar's trying to get me more into this technology world. So got some stuff coming up for you. So stay tuned, follow us so we can continue to build together. So anything else, Edgar?
Don't be afraid of growth. That's my quote of the day.
Gotcha. Don't be afraid of growth. And so until next time, because again, we're here every Saturday, 12 noon, every Monday, 2 p.m. Every fourth Saturday is the food show review. Coming up in May, we're celebrating our 5th year anniversary. So we've been thinking, hadn't really got the plans in the works yet, but we've been thinking, planning what we can do different for the anniversary show. And so, but it's going to be exciting. So I appreciate you all being with us for so long, and for the ones who've already shared our videos, for the ones who've already committed to who have been committed to following us and staying with us. We're excited because it's only every round goes higher and higher. So until next time, as always, we're leaving you with love, positivity, and good vibes. Have a good day, everybody.